Let's start this broadcast from Bangladesh, where fresh protests and clashes broke out on Sunday. Bangladeshi students engaged in pitched battles with the country's additional security forces group called Ansar. The latest unrest has put the spotlight on the paramilitary group. But let's understand what the Ansar force is. It was established in the year 1948. The Ansar is an auxiliary paramilitary force, and the primary function of the group is to monitor internal security and law enforcement in Bangladesh. Ansar has over 6 million members working in varied but mostly volunteer capacity. The forces comprise 3 divisions: the Ansar Forces, Battalion Ansar, and the Village Defense Team. The para force is making headlines after over 40 people were injured after the Ansar officials clashed with students outside the Bangladesh Secretariat. What turned into a volatile incident had begun as a protest. Ansar personnel were demonstrating to demand nationalisation of their job as they work on a daily wage basis and the abolition of the traditional of a rest period. Now, as per the existing rules, over 70,000 General Ansar members are not paid any salary. Instead, they are paid 540 taka per day. That's approximately $4.5 US. After receiving assurances from the interim government's Home Affairs advisor, Lieutenant General Jahangir Alam Chaudhry, members of the Ansar group suspended the protests and returned to work. In a post on social media, the students accused former Director General of Ansar, who is also the elder brother of former Deputy Minister of Water Resources, for the continued blockade of the Secretariat despite the demands being met. And to understand better what's happening in Bangladesh, Barrister Rumin Farhana is joining us live on WION. She is an advocate Supreme Court and former member of Parliament from Dhaka. Thank you so much for joining us, Ms. Farhan.
Thank you so much.
Before I get into the politics, let me first understand how you are assessing the protest that we are seeing between the Ansar group and the students.
This is very strange because the Ansar, they were in a contractual job for last many years. So why all of a sudden they are in protest and they, went to the ministry, they get into the building and they almost not allow anyone to come out, and they attacked many of our people who are there inside the building. So at one point of time, one of the advisors, he had to come on Facebook Live and he requested the students to come in front of the ministry, and they did so. And eventually, somehow they managed to rescue the advisors and their team. So it's a big question. Why now? When the whole country is under flood, number one. Number two, immediately after Sheikh Hasina fled from Bangladesh to India, we have seen many protests are going on every day. Yesterday, the chief advisor, he addressed the nation and he made it absolutely clear that he is there with the mandate of the people, with the mandate of the entire nation. So he needs to do some job, he needs to do some reforms, and he is there to build a new Bangladesh, a new politics. So he needs some time for that. And he said that if this sort of protest is going on every day, here and there, it is not very comfortable for the government to work and to focus on their main goal. So he asked the nation and at the same time the different groups of the society, the different groups of the people who are engaged in this kind of protest to, to wait for a while and to see what measures he is taking, and if possible, to assist him, to advise him, and what they really want from him, they can always give suggestions.
Yeah, and speaking of Mr. Mohammad Yunus, he has also said that he has promised that free and fair elections will be held after vital reforms. I want to ask you, how is the BNP seeing that?
Free, fair and inclusive election is the demand of the whole entire nation. So it is nothing new, and it's a political matter. The chief advisor also saying that it's absolutely a political matter and it can only be resolved through discussion. So what we really expect that he will sit with the parties, different parties, and will discuss about the election, when it can be held, and how it can be ensured that it will be a free and fair one, where everyone from different parties who wants to be a candidate can be candidate, who wants to take part in the election, they can do it freely.
All right, Barrister Rumeen Farhana, thank you so much for joining us here on WION and getting us your insights.
You're welcome. Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.